Hey guys, it's Dylan, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. This is going to be a very discussion-heavy video, but I think it's a very important video to make. Have you guys been struggling to clear your beat chasers? Because I know that I was for a little bit before I figured out what seemingly seems like the optimal strategy for paying the least amount and still clearing the beat chasers. Now, from what I've seen, there are three different types of beat chasers that they do in terms of points. They have the 1300 point beat chaser, the 2100 point one, and the 51.1. Sorry, the 2100 and the 5100. So the 5100 one is obviously the big beast. It's usually the one they save for special events. And that one's a tough one to clear. The 2100 is a little more forgiving, but still does require some purchasing, unfortunately, unless you already have gems backlogged. As you can see, I usually don't. Actually, 85 is pretty high for me right now, and that's because I got 25 for pre-saving whatever the heck the King Sullivan whatever song was. And then the 1300 ones are happily free to play. So, guys, let's talk about this. So, first of all, we have the 1300 point beat chaser. That is a free-to-play beat chaser. If you have a 1300.1, you do not have to make any purchases. You should be able to get through it as long as you play both of the available rounds. I believe those ones usually only give you 2 available rounds to play. So you should not have to pay for a third round. If you think about it, most of the time playing one round will usually give you around about like 800-ish points. So if you times that by 2, you're getting around like 1600 points for 2 rounds. That's enough to clear a 1300 point beat chaser. Unfortunately, the 1300 point beat chasers usually don't have a lot of fun rewards. Usually it's just a couple of cards, couple of boxes, and then maybe your last reward is a merch box. Those ones usually don't contain specific track skins. Although they did just dump a bunch of track skins into the merch box, meaning you could probably get something pretty cool out of that. If you didn't know, they recently added the liquid amber track skin to that, which I really like. This one's got kind of like an ashy backdrop. I really like the way that looks, and then the top bar obviously looks good. Also, the recent Halloween event that gave out this Fright Night skin. Just a little bit of feedback. This is by far their best track skin they've done yet. And I'm just going to say it, it's because of this top customization. They've not really experimented much with this top circle, but hey, look at that moon. That looks sick. I love playing with that. And then the effects that go on in the sides while you have all this going on. It's just a really good track skin. It works really well with the game. They obviously added this one recently, which is kind of a disappointment. I think we all wanted the liquid gold for R&B, but they just had to add this little half-ass skin last second. So, unfortunately, that's what we're left with. But yeah, let's move on to the next type of beat chaser. The next type is the 2100 point beat chaser. Now this one is not free to play, unfortunately, but it's almost. If you have backlog gems, you can theoretically get through this, but you have to have a certain amount. What I usually have to do when I have to clear this one is buy an extra small gem pack. If you go to the shop here, it's only $1.99 for 100 gems. Because for the 2100 one, you have to buy a third round effectively. Or there's actually the alternative option that you buy the extra points at the end of rounds using 25 gems. Although I haven't done the calculations in my head. I'm not sure which one's more valuable. For me personally, I just buy an extra round at the end of it. I could be losing out on points there, or losing out on gems. I don't know. I guess it really just depends on how much you make point-wise in the first 2 rounds, or if you somehow miss a round. But yeah, for the 2100 one, an extra small gem pack should do it. That's all you have to buy. As long as you play your rounds and play that third round that you buy with your 60 gems, you should be able to get to the max prize there. Now, the 2100 point ones, I can't remember if those ones, I think those ones usually do have a track skin. They're just not the super exciting ones. I think, if I remember correctly, this might have been a 2100 point track skin. This one was definitely not one. This one was definitely one of the higher point ones. But like, something like, I'm trying to remember here, maybe this one was a 2100 point one. Or like this one. Some of these like more cheaper track skins. Oops. Some of those cheaper track skins come at the grand prize of the 2100 point beat chaser. But yeah, you only need a extra small gem pack for that, and you should be able to clear it. But then we come upon the big beast, the 5100 point Beat Chaser. Now, these ones are usually held back for like special events. For instance, we had the Halloween event, which had 5100 points, as well as something like the where's that here? What am I looking for? Oh yeah, the 30 Seconds to Mars one. The 30 Seconds to Mars one obviously was a big deal, and so yeah, this was also a 5100 point Beat Chaser. I think this one might have been, but this might have been back when they were trying to figure out what the pointage was. They were very confused in the beginning what they wanted their points to be, but they've kind of settled into 3 categories now. So yeah, the 5100 point Beat Chasers, those are almost definitely going to require a booster pack, which is unfortunate. I think the booster pack is like $3.99, so like $4. Which is kind of hefty for a Beat Chaser, but when you consider the amount of rewards it's giving, it's actually not that bad. There is a ton of deluxe cards in there if that's what you're looking for, and even if you're not looking for deluxes, there's just a ton of cards and boxes in there in general, and also a lot of like Beat Chaser specific prizes like merch boxes, avatar, banner boxes. There's a ton of that stuff in this event. And also the grand prize is usually always a specific track skin, or in the case of the 30 Seconds to Mars, there's also a song included in that too, which is really cool. But yeah, you'll need a boost pack. Now, here's where it gets tricky. I actually needed a little more than a boost pack to complete my 5100 point Beat Chaser for this Halloween one, but that was mainly because they did not have deluxes available to play. Now, what I will say is, if the Beat Chaser does have deluxes available to play, that's going to make things a lot simpler. That might imagine if a 2100 point I imagine if a 2100 point Beat Chaser had deluxes available, you might not even need the gem pack. It might be free to play as well. But if the 5100 has the deluxes available, you're probably going to need just a boost pack. If it doesn't, you're going to need probably some extra gems. I can't remember what I did. I think I just paid for an extra round, which was probably a waste of gems in that case. I probably should have spent 25 on a couple extra points at the end of a song. But you are going to need a few extra gems dotted in there for finishing up the event, which is, yes, it's unfortunate. But again, considering you get all these rewards, it is nice. Now, that is one of the things that makes me wish that they would include some gems, even if it's like 50 or 25 in the booster pack. I get it, they're already putting unlimited play bundled with it, which is nice, but I think a couple of gems there as well would really kind of solidify the pack as being a value option that a lot more people would buy. And it's the same thing with like the deluxe card pack. Like the deluxe card bundle has deluxe cards. I think it has some gems and unlimited play, which is nice. Granted, it costs more, but it's also not boosts for a Beat Chaser, which, you know, gives you a lot of cards regardless. So yeah, that pretty much wraps everything up. Those are the 3 different types of Beat Chasers, and the best way to spend the least amount of money and still get your grand prize at the very end. Hopefully this was a very informative video for you guys. Hopefully I could save you guys some cash and help you guys clear those Beat Chasers. I know money's kind of a struggle for me, so I try to spend as least as possible. I have been kind of dropping a lot of money this season because I kind of got backed up last season, but I'm decently caught up on deluxes. I'm missing like 2 or 3, which is actually impressive because the deluxe bundle dropped mid-season, so that's always a rough thing for me. I have to kind of double catch up on deluxes, but yeah. Subscribe, leave a comment, like, hit the bell, and I will see you in the next video.